What's going on, guys? My name is Brandon. Welcome back. Big episode today. It's the episode I think we've all been waiting for. I know it's one that means a lot to me because we are finishing it. The 34-year-old quad that's been sitting in the corner of the garage for the last 15 years is no longer neglected. Let's get going. I think they're both in here. I hope they are. I know I'm pretty excited about it.
Oh yeah, yep.
Oh, it even comes with new hardware. How's that look?
Pretty snazzy.
Oh boy, yeah. That's gonna look pretty sweet, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, now we know it runs. Actually, while you're right here, let's start it up. So, it is warm right now. And I haven't even adjusted the carburetor other than the idle. That's all I've done. I haven't adjusted the fuel mixture or anything. One pull. So I'm confident we can put it back together now. Yes!
So.
You like it though, or?
Yeah. You can always ship it back and put the old ones back on.
Guys, but I'm getting a little disappointed the more I start working on this because they don't just mount up like the original ones do. There's like little brackets that you got to attach to the original frame that come up. Then you got to drill holes in your new plastic to attach it to those brackets, and there's some 90-degree brackets down here. And then the hardware that they give you to bolt everything up, it's just all regular hardware and it's all exposed, so that's all going to rust and everything. You know, for the amount of money I paid for this, this should have top-of-the-line hardware, stainless steel. It's not that expensive to provide stainless steel hardware. These are like pennies a piece, the stuff that I've been buying. So yeah, it's just all regular hardware that's all going to rust at some point. And you know, the plastic, it's got scratches all through it from the factory. You can see it right there. So not overly happy. The decals that were put on, they're all wrinkly. They got creases in them. They're not even stuck down. So yeah, yeah. I mean, when you spend this kind of money, guys, it's really discouraging to see. But you know what? They know that. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? If you need plastics, there's really only one company that makes these, so they can pretty much do whatever they want and get away with it. You know. So yeah, kind of a little disappointing. And if they weren't willing to spend the money on stainless hardware, they could always buy plated hardware and supply that. That's what this four-wheeler came with from the factory. That fastener right there is 34 years old, and that looks just as good as any new fastener. So there's ways of doing it without supplying what I consider junk hardware. Share with you how I'm installing these, and I think this is like far better than the equipment that they sent with me. But unfortunately, I don't know where you'd buy this without buying a whole kit. But what this is this is leftover parts from a fairing kit. It's from when I bought new bolts and stuff for my katana fairings. So what this is it's basically a washer with a shoulder on it. So I'm using that. You can see look how perfectly that fits in that hole. There's no slop. I didn't drill that out or anything. So that fits through there. And then I'm taking a button head stainless steel cap screw. It's got a hex head inside. Putting that through that. And you can see how nice that looks there. And then, can you see the shoulder down in there? That shoulder, you probably can't see it, but that shoulder is just sticking through that plastic. So even if you tighten down this bolt as tight as you could, it's still going to leave a little bit of play for that plastic to expand and contract. And then on the back side of that, I'm just putting on a nylon lock nut that you can see there, so they won't vibrate loose. And this is a completed side over here. I just think it looks a lot better, and it's much more secure, and you don't have to worry about the plastics cracking when it expands and contracts. And it looks a lot better than just hardware that's going to rust and have brown streaks down it. So, and this is how I mounted the hardware up under the fender at the front. And so that bolt is stainless also. That one's a locking nut. And I use the same little small panhead bolts that I've been using everywhere else. And I think it looks good because it's not overly noticeable. But if you look at this, like, I can turn that bolt by hand. But it also turns the nut too because it's a locking nut. See? Just keeping it kind of loose. It doesn't rattle or vibrate, and it will never loosen up because it's got that nylon. But here's another problem that I see. They want you to mount this little 90-degree tab onto the existing piece right here, and then you mount it to this part of the fender. Well, geez, if I do that, there is a ton of pressure. It's like these fenders sit here. I mean, look how far away that is. Like that. So I mean, this is like, I'm not really into like bending the fenders around that much. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll install this little bracket onto it, and then I'll do just a short little strap from this hole here to here, and that way the fenders will basically sit where they want to sit without stressing them. I don't want to go, you know, forcing the fender to do something that it really doesn't want to do. You know what I mean? Plus it would look kind of weird. It actually looks like it's torqued. So I'll let it sit how it wants to sit, and we'll put that little piece in there. But yeah, obviously something's off a little bit in the manufacturing process. So, but we can fix that too. Unlike their sticker right there that's all crooked, and that one that's wrinkled and has bubbles in it. Amazingly, I was able to put this one on straight, level, and without any bubbles. And even with this bracket on the back completely tightened, although it's still tight, it has just a little bit of friction. So that's going to allow, like I said, the plastics to expand and contract without actually breaking. They intend this to go like that. It looks pinched off. It doesn't look right. That looks forced. That's how they want it to go. That's how it wants to sit, just like that. So if I just push that, you know, down in line, and then just do a little flat piece of metal with a hole and a hole, we'll bolt it up just like that. And that way there's less stress on the plastic. And there it is, guys, all installed together. So the 90-degree bracket, then this is the piece, the little strap I had to make. And like I said, I just used all stainless steel hardware on that, just so it doesn't have any rust. Some of you may be saying to yourself, well, obviously he didn't put them in the right place because he drilled them. Well, actually I did, because you don't have a choice to put them in the wrong place. If you see here how this actually fits tight around the gas cap, this hole is automatically in here. So and the gas tank is non-adjustable, so this can only slide on. This plastic can only slide on in one place, so it is where it goes. It's not movable. You can see, you know, kind of a poor fit there. That's hitting. So, you know, like I said, if I didn't pay several $100s for this plastic, I wouldn't be so critical. I'm actually a pretty easy guy to get along with, but when you buy something that costs in excess of a car payment, you kind of expect that it's going to be pretty decent. And you know, all these things that I've mentioned are just really unacceptable and extremely disappointing. I did write the manufacturer, and I have yet to hear back from them, so it doesn't sound like they're too concerned about it either. So I ended up breaking down, and I went to Harbor Freight and bought this rotary tool. Let me turn this juleper on. Look at that. Yeah, I think that's working pretty good, guys. I'm happy with that. If I could get the rest of the switch to look this good, I'd be happy. I'm happy with that, guys. That's like 99% or 90% better than it was before, so I'm good with that. I like it. All we got left is to touch up that white. Finished switch. Not too bad considering what we started out with, huh guys? I mean, it's not absolutely perfect, but then again, like I said, this is a budget build. Somebody sent me a link to a switch. It doesn't list that it fits this quad, but it does say it fits the 90 TRX, and I might have to look a little bit into that because it's only like 20 bucks. So whoever sent me that link, thank you. I'm gonna look into it, but for right now, we're just gonna go with this. And I'm super happy with how that came out compared to what we started out with.